He says, not rage baiting here, truly in distress and penniless, will probably stay that way, but so tired of the lack of accountability. Tyler, you still here, man? Because we gotta work through this, bro. We gotta work through this. I'm glad that you're not rage baiting, you're just sharing where you're at. But I want to know, why are you here? Because I think one of the worst things that society does, and this is from the right and from the left, I think one of the worst things society does is that they rob people of their agency. And so like believing that this is it for you and that this is your lot in life is really, really unhelpful. Right? And so Charlie was civil about it and they killed him. So are we just to step in the crosshairs and lay it down? I am down, but direction from this point. So no, I don't think you just step in the crosshairs and are reckless. And I understand that this has had an impact on you. However, I think that the pathway forward, if you actually listened and cared about what Charlie talked about, the pathway forward is to not slide into nihilism and slide into despair and slide into they out there are coming to get me and everything is wrong, right? And so even in this, like, Ruslan, I love you, but sometimes you act like your poop don't stink. I don't act like my poop don't stink. I show you guys my scars and I remind you that if God can take a broken, hurting refugee from another country brought up by a single mom and an alcoholic that was as a kid, addicted to, struggling with all sorts of issues. If God can take someone like me, someone as broken as me, then Max, God can take you, God can take Tyler, God can take all of us and use us to usher in goodness and beauty on this side of eternity. So that's the difference. If you are here and you're in nihilism and you're in despair and you feel like the system is rigged against you and you'll never get ahead, the worst correlation with people who struggle with perpetual mental health issues is the feeling of lack of agency. The feeling of lack of agency. You don't have any free will. This is your lot in life. You're just going to exist. This is your lot in life. It's never going to get better. You are only as valuable as whatever it is you do for money in this Western society. And your identity is not what you do for money, and your purpose is not what you do for money. There's much more to your purpose, but even the money question can be solved with enough forethought and enough intentionality and enough resilience. So no, I don't come on here acting like my poop don't stink. I show you guys my scars. I'm statistically not supposed to be here. The vast majority of my friends from high school and middle school went to jail, got and ended up on. Because here's the deal: what you believe about yourself and what you believe about the world will determine how you behave. If you believe that the world is doomed and it's all over and that it's just everyone's too far gone and forget it, what's the point of it all? And I can never get ahead and I'm forever going to be struggling and I got to stay addicted and I got to stay depressed. If that's what you believe about the world and that's what you believe about yourself, that's going to determine how you behave. This is why identity is so important. Like, who are you and whose are you? Who are you and whose are you? Because if you're anchoring whose are you and who are you, and the things you believe about yourself is that, man, I'm a child of God put on mission to usher in goodness and beauty and help make the world a better place. And right now I might be going through a tough season. Right now it might seem very dark. Right now it might seem like, man, where do we go from here? That's fine. But who are you and whose are you will determine how you behave. And so it's not that I come on here trying to flex on folks and act like I'm better than anybody. I'm not. I'm broke. I was broken. There's parts of me that are still broken, but goodness gracious, Jesus takes my brokenness and pieces it back together and uses it for things that I never even imagined. And I'm not saying that everybody's going to have my story, but what I am saying is that you can be a part of the solution. Yeah, I'm not saying don't stand up. I'm not saying don't. There's a difference between standing up. There's a difference between standing up for those who are defenseless and retribution. So there's a vast difference between that. There's a difference between standing up for those who can't stand up for themselves and vengeance. There's a chasm of a difference there, Tyler. And so you're here, you feel broken, you feel like you're down and out. So here's the question. What's the solution? Just checking our substance, is that solution? No. I'm not sure what your actual question to me is, but I'm just here and I'm going to talk to you because I honestly, I feel led to. There are authorities in place that would deal with whatever caused this Charlie Kirk situation, and I think that is going to get handled. The question is, what is the solution and pathway forward, right? You said recompense. So make amends to someone for loss or harm. Okay. So let's talk about how to make a loss for someone cause harm. That's already going to get done legislatively. That's not your job. You're not a vigilante, nor is it your job to do that against the left. But here's what I do think the best example is. Here's what I do think the best pathway forward is. And you guys are going to like that because it reminds you that you have agency. And I know that's not popular to say, but what is the best pathway forward? Because God is going to do the vengeance. Read the scriptures. We just went over Matthew 5. What's the best pathway forward? Well, here's the interesting thing. In Jeremiah, it's a book prophet Jeremiah is writing while the children of Israel are in exile under Babylon. They are outside of the promised land. Ezekiel, Jeremiah, and Daniel are all contemporaries of each other. And in the middle of them being in exile, in the middle of them losing the power that they had in Jerusalem, Jeremiah writes something interesting that the Lord tells him. And I think this is applicable to us today. It may not be a perfect one for one, but I believe this is applicable for us today. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 4. Everyone likes to cap Jeremiah 29. I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, but they missed this part. They missed this part. Because we're like the exiles in Babylon. This is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says to all those I carried into exile from Jerusalem to Babylon. Build houses and settle down. Plant gardens and eat what they produce. Marry and have sons and daughters. Find wives for your sons and daughters and give your daughters in marriage so that they too may have sons and daughters. Increase in number there. Do not decrease. Also, seek the peace and prosperity of the city which I have carried you into exile. Pray to the Lord for it, because if it prospers, you too will prosper. This is how you balance what's happening in the world in the lunacy. Is we live this out. Oddly enough, this sounds eerily like a lot of Charlie Kirk's prescription to young men, does it not? Build houses and settle down. Hey, tricking away your 20s? Acting like an animal in heat? Going to the club and hookup culture? Bad. What you want to do is you want to settle down. You want to build something. You want to build houses, plant gardens, eat what they produce, marry and have sons and daughters. Find wives for your sons and daughters. And if you're isolated and you're alone and you're growing in nihilism and despair, this all sounds preposterous to you. But this is what the Lord prescribed. And oddly enough, this is what Charlie Kirk told y'all to do. Marry and have sons and daughters. Find wives for your sons and daughters. Give your daughters in marriage so that they too may have sons and daughters. This is multi-generational thinking. Some of y'all can't think past next week or past next month or past the year. The Lord is saying, think multi-generation. You should be thinking about your grandchildren. And then this last part, also seek the peace and prosperity of the city to which I have carried you into exile. Pray to the Lord for it, because if it prospers, you too will prosper. Be fruitful and multiply. Plant gardens. Build houses. Think multi-generationally. That is the prescription of what we're supposed to be doing. And by the way, I have this eerily feeling that if we were to do this and this is what we will be known for, a lot of the craziness would start to subside. A lot of this stuff would start to subside. And so that is, I think, the prescription in this time is not to view yourself as a victim, even if you've been sinned against. I've been sinned against. I was assaulted as a kid repeatedly. No, I don't think it conflicts at all, Joseph, because scripture interprets scripture. It does not conflict. I'm not saying everyone is going to get married. That's not the point. Generally, those of you guys that want to get married should get married. So we don't do is we don't pull scripture out of context. So let me just say this. Tyler said, I've been working to settle down since I was in high school, 35, and from broken income. Times are a little different. I would love to have a good Christian wife and to raise children. Yeah, don't go down the red pill route, my brother. Don't go down the black pill. That's even worse. Just flat out nihilism. And so if you want to get married, you should get married. That should be a priority to you. I'm not saying everybody's going to get married. Some of you guys are called to being single, but that's the minority and not the majority. But I'm going to say this to you, Tyler. I'm saying this because I really want to help you. I really want to help you. This is why I wrote this book, Godly Ambition. So DM me on Instagram, DM me a screenshot of this, and DM me your address. I'm going to get you a physical copy of the book out. I'm going to get you a physical copy of the book out today. If you DM me on Instagram, send me your address. Because if you commit to reading it, Tyler, if you commit to reading the whole book, because I can't go through 5 hours of content in the live stream with you, right? So if you commit to reading this book, Tyler, DM me on Instagram, send me your address, send me your information. If you commit to it, I'll send you this book for free. It's not about trying to sell you anything because I'm giving it to you for free. But this is why I wrote this book, because I'm seeing too many people grow in despair, grow frustrated, grow confused when there's actually a biblical framework to this. And when you tell somebody, hey, getting married and having a family is a good thing, and then someone goes, that's not what Paul said. It's like, fam, trust that I've done some research. I wrote a book about this. I'm not winging it. I've been walking with the Lord for over 20 years. I've been married 17 years, together with my wife for over 20 years. So this is why I put this together, because there's a lot more Tylers out there. There's a lot more Tylers out there. So Tyler, this is a lifeline. If you're going through it, this is a lifeline. DM me on Instagram. Send me your address. I will send you the book for free. But you have to commit to reading the full thing. If you commit to reading the full thing, I'll send you the book for free. If you can't read, or if you struggle reading, you got dyslexia, that's fine. I'll send you the Audible credit, or I'll figure out a way to get you an Audible credit. If you commit to reading the whole thing. Is that fair, Tyler? This is on Amazon. It's on Audible. This just came out. It's doing amazing. I'm a #1 bestseller in the inspirational spirituality category. I don't know what that means, but the feedback on this has been awesome. And so I'm not trying to make this about me and make this about my book, but this is why I put this together as a resource for people. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. If you liked it, then hit the like button. If you liked it a lot and have a thought to share, leave a comment. If you are listening to this on the podcast app, make sure to leave a review, and you could even leave a comment over there. And if you want to watch another video that is recommended just for you, hit this video over here. Let me know if they nailed it. Also, you can partner with us monthly, which helps us out a lot in our monthly community. Get access to early drops and all that kind of good stuff over here. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.